Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
I believe it. I say this every time we do this video, but believe it or not, it's time to do our April TBR. Like, we're 4 months into the year. This is the month that Mandy catches up to me in age.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, hey, yeah, my birthday's in less than, about a week when this video comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to see if I get 44 books.
I'll have to send some messages to the hubby and see what happens. So
I told Jay, I'm like, hey, Jessica got 44 books for her birthday. And he's like, oh, that's a lot of money.
Tell him, you must not love me as much as Jeff loves her. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You gotta use that.
Jay! Jay! Jessica said if I don't get 44 books from my birthday like she got from Jeff, you must not love me as much as Jeff loves her. That's all you have to say?
I can't hear him. Is he just silent?
He said, oh. And he's like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to respond to those threats. All right. So yes,
okay.
I will be 44 here very shortly.
Just keep sending him your Amazon wish list over and over again. Woohoo! Okay.
What is happening? Do you see that?
I thought you did it yourself.
No!
Oh! All right. It's awesome. That was perfect timing. Oh! Oh! Wait. It's not doing it on my end. The other day when I... There we go!
What the hell is happening?
Yay! But that's like when I give you the thumbs up.
Our video, there you go. Our video is very excited that I'm turning 44.
Yes. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
So let's before you turn 44, what do they need to do first?
First, people, please hit that subscribe button. We love you for doing that. We are on our road to 2K now, but we have a pit stop at 1500 where you could win these lovely books from Calla Reed. Jessica's holding them all up there. Calla Reed is one of our favorite authors, as I'm sure you already know. You definitely want to win these books. So at 1500, we will be giving those away to somebody, and all you have to do is hit that subscribe button to be entered to win. So make sure you do that. You can also follow us on Instagram for an extra entry. So thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes, so those are all signed by Calla, and thanks again to Calla for sending them.
Yes, definitely.
Yay. All right, so let's talk about our April TBR. We both have 15 books each to go over. These are what we hope to read in the month of April because, Mandy, how many of those March TBR books did you read?
I got 9. How about you?
I got 5. I just can't. I mean, like, I go into the month with like these intentions of actually finishing. Like, I'm looking at this list going, I can do this. These books are the ones I really want to read. And since we're mood readers, that doesn't happen. So
yeah, there was a book on my list, and I'm like, for March, I'm like, why did I even put this on there?
Yeah,
but at the time, I really wanted to read it. But that's the problem.
And then life gets in the way, and the mood changes, and then you go, "What was I thinking?"
Exactly.
So yeah.
So we try. Jessica, exciting news! We now have TBR journals that will help you keep track of what you want to read. So one thing that I am really guilty of is I add a book to my Goodreads TBR and then I cannot remember why I put it there. And so I don't end up going back and reading it. And then like months later, maybe even a year later, I'll stumble upon it and be like, why is that on there again? So TBR journal, very simple journal where you can just write. Like, I'm going to show you a blank page so I don't give away the video yet. But you can just write down the title, the author. You can put your notes in there about why you want to read the book. So this can be super simplistic just for you. Like you can be like age gap or romantic suspense or whatever. So, or if you know it's a new release, you can write the date there. And then when you've read it, you can go back and actually check it off. So then this is at your fingertips to know what books you want to read and why you wanted to read it. So if you're looking for a specific thing, you can go back and flip through your notes and be like, oh yeah, this was that mafia book that I wanted to read. So I'm in the mood for mafia, so I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
This has enough places for 300 books.
Which is perfect.
Yes.
Because I think I add that weekly to my TBR.
Down below, you can check out, there's the link for this journal. There's also the link for our trope journal and the link for our book journal. So we have 3 journals now. So go check those out. And thank you to those of you who have already done that.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Definitely.
And we hope you're enjoying them.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. All right. Now that we've got housekeeping out of the way, are we ready to dive into our April TBR?
Let's do this. Let's start with our new releases and arcs and all that other good stuff that's coming in the month of April.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So for my first one, I had this on my TBR last month and I had to move it to this month, to April, because it is Pam Godwin's second book in her, I can't remember what she's calling the trilogy. In the Alaska trilogy. I totally it just went out my head. But as a beta reader, I get it earlier than everybody else. Pam is still writing this book. I thought she was done with it. She's not. And so we're supposed to get it one of the very last days of March. We're supposed to get the first half and then the rest of it as she finishes. But it's like we're supposed to get it within the first few days of April. So I'll have this finished in April. This is titled Cage of Ice and Echoes. It's continuing on with Frankie's story, being stranded in Alaska or being kidnapped, and now they're in this place in the Arctic Circle. And apparently, though, at this point, now it did get smaller because it was over 700 pages when I read the first book, and when it released on Kindle, it was 600. But this one's over 1,000.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what it actually turns out to be after the beta readers get done with it and the editors and stuff. But
okay,
wait.
All right. My first one is called Older by Jennifer Hartman. It releases April 9th. This is a forbidden slow burn age gap. And our heroine is described as being bruised and abused in her family, and she starts to look up to an older man who is her best friend's dad.
Ooh.
I cannot wait. I
bet.
love a good forbidden age gap romance, so I'm very excited about this one.
Okay, so I have the arc right now. I have to finish the book by April 4th. That is the release date. And this is called Lawless God by Lola King. This is a part of her North Shore series. I have never read anything by Lola King, but I ended up getting this arc anyway, because it can be read as a standalone. All I know about this book is this guy's supposed to be over the top crazy. But if you go to Goodreads, all that it will tell you right now is that we're back at the North Shore, and that this is the last book in that series. And Nathan is a psychopath, and he's coming back for me. And that's all I need to know to get into a book. So hopefully this will be good. I'm hopefully. But like I said, that releases April 4th.
Okay.
Okay,
my next one is All My Love by Daisy Jane, and this releases April 12th. This is age gap, but she is the stalker in this one. So I'm very excited. I have never read one where our heroine does the stalking. And so in the blurb, she's talking about how they're perfect for each other and she is on her way to get him. He just doesn't know it yet. So I believe she's 20 and he's 38, and he has a young son. And so we have single dad there too. But I am very excited to read it when it's the heroine is doing the stalking. So yes, very excited for this one.
All right. So the next book that I have is another new release. This one will be out on April 5th. I got 3 arcs this week. I also got the arc of it this week, and so I need to get it finished before then. and that is Across State Lines by Lauren Beale. This is set in her hitchhiking series that she has. They're all standalones, but this one features a trucker who has DID, which is now my brain just totally just short-circuited, a dissociative identity disorder. So he's got what we used to call multiple personalities. So obviously this is going to be dark and crazy, but you guys know that I'm here for Lauren Beale's dark and crazy. So I'm excited.
You're going to have a weird week because you also you have 3 arcs you have to read, and then you have 3 books you have to read for a project that we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not like to be told what to read. So you have 6 books to read this week that are told to you.
Yep. Why would you point that out?
Because it's going to be funny. You're going to be cranky.
Why would you point that out? You're just going to make it worse for me.
Okay. So my next book comes out April 16th, and it's Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. All I wrote in my notes right here, Claire and Gibbsy, this is their book. I am so excited for this. I have been waiting what feels like an eternity for this book to come out. It has not really been an eternity. If this is not on your TBR, why not? And Jessica, if you have not read the Boys of Tommen series, go do yourself a big favor. It is fantastic. Love it. So I am so here for Claire and Gibbsy's story. I'm a little bummed that is coming out on Tuesday. Why do authors not drop their books on like Fridays or Saturdays when I am home for the weekend? But this is coming out on a Tuesday. Bummer.
Tuesday's just release day. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm going to read it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't skip work, but as soon as I get home, I will be reading.
Okay. All right. So the next book that I have is another arc that I got this week that I have to finish by April 4th because that is the release date. And it is Poisonous Kiss by Jagger Cole. So this is the 3rd book in the Venomous Gods series. And I haven't read anything by Jagger Cole. These can all be read as standalones, but they're mafia. And this is a forced marriage. He is an over-the-top, possessive, crazy bumhole of an alpha. And they said he's actually a psychopath. And it also said it has touch her and touch her and the thing feels to it. So I don't think this week is going to be a hardship. Let me just tell you.
Well, that's good because you're cranky when you're being told what to read.
I am cranky when I'm being told what to read. You know me way too well.
I was like, I'm going to have to not answer the phone this week.
I know. You're going to be like, working late every day.
F you button.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys know about that? The F you button. Like if you call somebody and they send you to voicemail immediately or after the first second ring, it's referred to as the F you button.
Yes.
Because you're just saying, screw you.
The Off Balance series.
They have that in there? I don't remember that. Okay.
This is where we got it from. And I was
like,
oh my gosh, yes. Her and Avery call it that. And like I was texting you, like I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yep, that's where it came from then. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
This is true. So my next book releases April 17th, and it's called Hideaway with You by Judy Corey. Judy Corey writes clean romance. So if that is something you are looking for, check out Judy Corey. I've read a couple of her books, really enjoy them. She writes so well that you don't really even realize that she writes clean. Like, I'll be honest, I read her book, loved it, and then later found out that she writes clean romance. So nothing was missing for me in her book. So this is about, you'll know why I want to read this when I tell you about it. It's Evan's brother's. Okay, so hold on. I'm screwing this up. I don't know what her name is. So her family is killed. And Evan takes her in, who was her brother's best friend. Okay. They fall for each other. And then all of a sudden, he just disappears on her. Just leaves, ups and leaves, disappears. I am so excited to read this. So excited.
Okay.
He just disappears. cares, Jessica?
Okay. I get it. All right.
Do you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, here's one that you'll get, and I think they'll understand because I don't really know much about it. I'm getting an early arc of Grace McGinty's book. Don't know the title. Don't know what it's about. It's either going to come out in April or May.
You're really trying hard to make your TBR be one that you could do this time, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to read the arcs. But I was talking with Grace, and I was like, "Don't you have a book coming out in like April?" And she was like, I said, am I like smoking stuff? And like, am I just making it up on my own? What's going on here? And she's like, well, I haven't made the announcement or anything, and I'm not sure if it's going to come out in April or May, but how about I just send you an arc and you can just read it so that you can tell them that you're reading it. And I was like, cool, yeah, let's do this. This is why you're my favorite. I have no idea what this book is about. It doesn't matter. Grace has a book coming out at some point, April or May, and I'm going to read the thing.
All right.
I'll let you guys know.
I would expect nothing different.
Exactly. So, anyhow. Okay. What's next on your list?
Okay. Next on my list is The Pucker Next Door. It comes out April 29th, and it's by Sarah Ney. So, not sure. Ney? Okay.
I'd say Ney.
So, our heroine has a squirrel chew through her wall in her home, and she freaks out and runs next door. Like, I think she's in a robe. Runs next door, which happens to be the hockey house. And she turns to them for help. This is where she meets Brody. And she and Brody kind of strike up a friendship, I guess. And she starts to fall for him. Like, and it's described as like every other girl on like that knows him does as well. But Brody has some secrets, apparently. So I'm excited to find out what Brody's secrets are.
Okay.
That wraps up all my new releases for my TBR. The rest.
But not mine.
No longer.
I have more. I got more.
Good.
Yeah. So the next one is a highly anticipated release by those who've read the prequel. And that is Midnight of Ashes by Tessa Hale. This comes out on the 19th of April. Audio comes out the same day as the book. So this is technically it is number 1, or I guess technically it's number 2 in the Ember Hollow series. And this is the one that we read in February, I think, with the Dragon Shifter reverse harem situation that is like awesome possum. And waiting for this book. I've been waiting for a while. You know, it's the one that the girls told me, like Jen and Amber were talking about it. And I was like, oh, I gotta go read it. I think it was Jen and Amber. It was on our live show.
Is that what you said? We read it? Because I'm like, we did not read this.
No, we didn't. Sorry. I meant we as in the channel had read it. Someone on the channel. And I have a turd in my pocket. I don't know what to tell you. It's a collective wave. Seriously. Okay, anyhow. So that's coming out then. What do you have next?
All right, so
you'll recover. It's okay. You should be used to it by now.
Okay. Next I have Saved by Love by Tony Aleo. And this is an author we're going to see at Rain City. So I'm excited to read a new author that we'll also be seeing. And this apparently has Evan as our hero. He has an injury while he's playing for the NHL. But before he really even becomes a star, he goes out on a medical thing. I don't know what it is. It just says he retires for a medical reason. So anyway, he becomes an athletic trainer and starts working with this gymnast named Callie, who's like at the top of her game and doing really well. And they start to fall for each other. And it's supposed to be like a story of them kind of like, it sounds like healing together. But I'm sure there will be some complications. But anyways, it sounds really good.
Okay.
I'm excited to read it.
That's awesome.
Why do I say that about every book? Because honestly, if I put it on my TBR, when it goes on my TBR, I am excited to read it. It's just weeks later, I'm like, why did I put that on my TBR?
I feel ya 100%. Now, this book that I'm going to talk about, though, my next one has been on my TBR for a while, but the audio is coming out. And so, I mean, it's been on my TBR before, and the audio is coming out. So, like, that gives me no excuses to not read it because I can listen to it while I'm driving and doing whatever. So that is Dreadful by Greer Rivers. This is the third book in her Tattered Curtain series. So we had Phantom, then Rouge, and now Dreadful. So this is, and she says on the back, it's a dark, modern, romantic retelling of Sweeney Todd with a Medusa twist and a happy ever after. Their revenge is sweet. Their love is unhinged. I've wanted to read it for a while. We got this in Vegas, but the audio comes out on the 9th of April, which gives me the whole month to listen to the audio if I wanted to. And I love her audio, has always been good with her books that she has. So yay for audio.
All right. So one thing that you and I have both tried very hard to find is a decent time travel romance. And we feel like we've read the really good ones and we have a video rec for the really good ones. And we have never been able to find anything besides what we have on our video rec, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping I may have solved the problem, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's called Ghost Walk by Cassandra Gannon. And this is about Grace, who's a crime scene, like forensic scientist type person. And she accidentally, like, somehow touches some blood at a scene and travels like back through time. And she confesses that this happened. And so she loses her job. So she's now back home giving tours in her Revolutionary War town, where she meets Captain James, who is a ghost from back in that time, and she has to help him try and prove his innocence.
Okay, so I found, now this is not on my TBR, I'm just telling you, but I found another one that has been popping up quite a bit that is time travel that I want to try. It's called Taken by E.C. Roderick. And I've never heard of this author. I don't know. I'll try it at some point, but I just want to put that out there. But that's not on my TBR. What is on my TBR is this one. It's Return to Monte Carlo by Kate C. Wells. The audio comes out for this on the 16th of April. And so this is a second chance romance. I think there might even be, I'm not sure. I think I know what else happens in here, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I'm not going to say, but the audio comes out. This isn't very long. I've had this on my shelf for a while. I need to read it. I love Kate C. Wells. So I'm excited to have the audio for this. So already pre-ordered. We're done.
Okay.
What else you got?
Lessons in Sin by Pam Godwin. I have not read that yet. You've said it's really good. We're going to be doing the interview with her, so I'm trying to get through some more of her books. So that is going on there. We have Father Magnus, who works at like a Catholic school, and then Tinsley gets sent there.
She's not even Catholic.
Something's going to go down.
I can't wait for you to read it. I can't wait for you to read the part of the workout sweatpants situation that happens there.
Oh, okay.
I've told you about that part. It was like one of the best parts of the book.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Read it.
Remember they call it morning worship or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next book, which I think this is my last new release, and the book itself is not the new release, but the audio is. And that is The Pucking Wrong Date by C.R. Jane. The audio for this comes out on the 16th. I always like to wait for her audio because she has great audio when she has it. And I know that you love this book. I cannot wait to listen to it. And I figure, hey, if you've read it and you loved it and I listen and I love it, then that's just like too perfect.
Yes. Oh, so good.
So ready for this book. It is the third book in her hockey series. And I cannot wait to get back into that world.
Yes.
They're dark hockey. Yeah. So, okay.
As we've mentioned before, Jessica and I got together, way back at the very beginning of January, Mm-hmm. And we kind of planned out videos that we want to do for the rest of the year.
Yes.
And obviously, we've already tweaked several times, but we wanted kind of a map, I guess. And one of the videos we want to do that would be coming up, I think it's in May, is historical romance. And so I went looking for some books to start reading in that area. And I found Healing a Highlander's Heart by Clan Grant. And this is about our heroine gets kidnapped at knife point and is taken because she's a healer, and they force her basically like to travel to go heal this Highlander. So
Okay.
sounded good. It is on audio, and I was looking for some books to listen to for, during April as well. And it's free because I've used all my credits.
Yeah, that
So
happened.
I'm excited to check it out.
Okay. All right. So the next book that I have on my list for April is The Skeleton King by Charity B. This book has something on it, which is really going to drive me nuts. This is supposed to be really, 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 really dark. Like, I don't know that I have enough reallys in there. It is I don't know if it's a retelling or if it's a reimagining of not The Corpse Bride, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which honestly, don't come at me. I do not like that movie, but I want to read this book. I've heard some things. It's dark and crazy, but I'm gonna put it on here, and maybe it'll be in our Halloween video out in October. I don't know, but yeah. Don't know much. I just know that it's pretty nice. I know about a couple scenes. Yeah. All right.
Okay, my next book is one that you read a while ago, and I was just randomly thinking about it the other day. So I texted you. I'm like, hey, what was this book called? And I'm like, I'm going to add that to my TBR. I really want to read it. So that is No Small Bet by Samantha Christie. And this is our hero is a very, very reluctant single dad who's basically forced to take care of his newborn child, for 1 year. Is it his dad or his grandpa that forces? Grandpa.
Get the meddling grandfather.
Forces him to do this for like 1 year. Mm-hmm. And so he does. And he ends up with this nanny who's also an amputee. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to assume the nanny and the baby really change his life.
Yeah, I love that book. He won't even name the baby right off the bat. The mom has died. The baby's mom died in hospital.
There is a fly in here, and it's driving me nuts.
Okay. All right. So the next book that I have on here on my list is Tate by BJ Alpha. So this is the second book.
There's a BJ Alpha book you haven't read?
There's like 3. There's 3.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was possible.
I mean, that will be rectified here shortly, but yes, there are 3. So this is book 2 in the Storm Enterprises series. This is a kind of a spinoff of her Secrets and Lies series. These guys are all businessmen. They're all best friends. I really don't know much because I haven't read this. It sounds like it's a one-night stand kind of situation. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that her books feature heavy breeding in them and breeding kinks. And what more could a girl ask for? Seriously.
A one-night stand that has a breeding kink? I think we could ask for a lot more.
Yeah, no. The first one in this series had a one-night stand that led to something more with the breeding king too. So I'm okay. It's all good. Okay. It leads to more. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My next book is a Catherine Anderson. I was going again looking for that historical romance, and I stumbled upon one of her contemporary romances, and it sounded so good that I'm like, I have to read this. It's called My Sunshine. And this is about Laura, who is in some sort of swimming accident, and she gets a head injury. And I haven't read the book, so I can only go off what the blurb says. And it affects her ability, her language ability. So I don't know if she now like uses sign language to communicate or what is happening, because again, haven't read the book. And she ends up losing like pretty much everything, it sounds like. So she's kind of starting over a little bit, and she gets a job working at an animal clinic. And we have Isaiah, who is the vet. And it sounds like they kind of maybe start to fall for each other, but Laura begins to feel like Isaiah deserves somebody better than her, which, oh, makes me sad. So I definitely want to read it.
Okay. All right. So this next book has been, it's a new release. I ran to Amazon and got it the minute I heard about it because apparently there's some things in here that might get it banned on Amazon at some point. So I purchased it and downloaded it. It wasn't even KU. I purchased it and downloaded it immediately before that happened. We were warned in one of my reading groups. I'm going to show you on my Kindle because I love this cover, even though I hate cartoon covers. Like, can you see this cover?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is Eclipse Ritual, and it is by Kate Rivenhall. We'll actually put the actual graphic up, but I wanted to show Mandy that really quick. So this is a taboo cult romance. I think there's breeding in this one as well, but this one is dark. It is cult setting, and they're siblings. Yeah. There's some kind of ritual that happens. Yeah. I'm not really keen on the whole sibling thing, but I can get over it if it's as good as everybody's saying it is, and everybody's like, go get this book right now. So in one of my reading groups, so
you're funny.
Yeah. So I'm hoping between all of my arcs and the other books I have to read this week, I can fit it in. But we'll see. I want that done beginning of this month. So yeah.
I just can't believe.
Yeah.
You hate being told what to read, but you set yourself up to have 6 books that you have to read in 1 week.
But they're books that I want.
Just the best.
They're arcs. They're books I want to read.
I'm gonna text your husband. Jessica might be on a rampage this week.
It's fine. He's
the
all right.
best thing that you could do is ask her if she's on her period.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am on an antibiotic because my pneumonia turned into a sinus infection, and on my flies back. Thought I got it. Laura has a friend that's now coming after me with a vengeance. Anyway, so I'm on an antibiotic, and on it says like warning, may cause your birth control to fail or something like that. And so I told my husband, I'm like, so just an FYI, my antibiotic says that my hysterectomy may be failing now because that's our method of birth control.
Like my uterus might grow back.
He's like, that is a very powerful antibiotic.
Yep.
Like my doctor was not messing around with a sinus infection.
Okay. My goodness. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews.
If you don't know what.
Oh, hi, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews, where we overshare.
Exactly. I was gonna say, if you guys don't know, here's your PSA. Antibiotics.
Well, that happens in books, and people like I've read like 4 or 5 books like that, and she's like, the girl's always like, I had no idea.
That was the first thing I learned when I started taking birth control back when I had a uterus. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm always like, how you like? There's a usually pretty big like yellow sticker on the side of the bottle.
Your doctor's gonna tell you.
Your doctor always tells you, as well as the pharmacist.
Yeah.
Like, anyhow. But like whenever I see that the heroine is got like some sort of cold and ends up taking an antibiotic, I'm like, oh, well, we know where this is going.
Someone's gonna get knocked up.
Yep. Okay, my turn?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so this book is called Wronged by Rin Sher. Sher. Sher? Okay, we're going to see this author at Romance Invades the Rockies as well. So Wronged is about our heroine who's wanting a fresh start away from the limelight and her parents. So she moves to this quiet beach town. And there's this guy there that everybody tells her to stay away from, but she does not. And he is there for his fresh start. He was hoping, but he describes the town as his own personal hell. And like my other book, he now feels like she deserves better. So I'm very curious as to why the town feels like he's a monster and what's going on there.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So the next book I have on my list is Detour by Dee Prince. I love Dee Prince. This is her MC series. This is the start to her MC series. It's supposed to be amazing. I haven't read it yet. I actually own it, but I have not read it. I own it on my Kindle. It was free one time when they had like the free books around the holidays. And so I have the first one on there, but I've seen some things about it recently that makes me just want to jump into it. So.
Okay. We'll see if you still feel that way when we are recording our April wrap up.
We'll see.
Or I guess it would be our May TBR where we talk about what we read. Yeah, how many books. Yeah. Okay. My next one is Treading Water by B. Sobjankin. And this, our heroine falls for her water polo coach. And she wants to make it to the Olympics. But he apparently does not feel the same as her because he never has anything nice to say to her. I've really enjoyed her books. So when I saw that she had this like coach and athlete romance, I'm like, ooh, I need to grab this. This one is a little bit longer for her. I think it's getting close to the 200 page mark. And some of her other books are like right around 100. So.
Okay.
I'm excited. I think this just came out in January. So I don't know how I missed it when we were doing like January releases. Somehow I did.
Okay. So the next book that I have is one of the books that I got for my birthday. This is one of the 44 books. This is what I put on my wish list. And then I wasn't 100% sure about it. And then it showed up because he purchased it. And then I was like, guess I'm reading that one. Okay. So this is Called to the Deep by Desiree M. Nikolai. This is historical, but it's also...
Is she a mermaid?
Yes. But it's also paranormal because you have some kind of mermaid situation going on in here. So this is about Killian, who is a captain of an offshore boat, and he gets a distress call from another boat that is sinking or something. And when he gets there, there is a woman there who has some short-term amnesia because she can't remember how she got in the wreck or what happened. So he rescues her. And apparently she's not all she seems. So we'll see. I've never read anything by this author.
I hear about this book. I have questions, but
I hope to have answers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So my next book is going to be Love Contract by Sophie Lark. I heard Sophie talking about this. I think it was like on her Instagram, and she was saying how she was getting back to like her Brutal Prince roots with this series. So that made me very excited to check these books out because I love Brutal Prince. There's a couple other of her books that I've liked and a few that just weren't for me. So another great example of an author where some of her books are fantastic and some just don't work for me. So, that could be for you too. So Love Contract is about Theo, who is our heroine. I get that authors love to come up with creative names, but for me, I really like more traditional names so I can keep everyone straight better. I don't know what it is. I think it's just how my brain has been hardwired. So so Theo is our female heroine. Female heroine. Wow, Mandy, you're just knocking it out of the park today. So she's a chef, but she's like got this billionaire boss who's like just basically she works nonstop and can't really work on things she wants to do. And she gets blackmailed by Sullivan, who is kind of like a enemy from high school. I'm sorry that this book is so boring.
No, I'm kidding.
And so she gets blackmailed by him I don't know why, but she gets blackmailed by him to do an introduction to her boss. And so she goes along with it. And then somehow it turns into like a full blown fake romance, double dating and all sorts of stuff. And so I'm excited to read it because like I said, I really enjoyed Brutal Prince. So I'm hoping that it has those, undertones to it. So I will be checking that out. And I've heard from other people that they really enjoyed it too. So, yeah. All right. You should have
this is my
one more or two more. Okay.
This is my last one. So
I
this
can't be trusted on this.
I know. I check them off as I go. So this one that I have, my last one, is The Catcher by Kate Raven. I've never read anything by this author, but this is a baseball romance. It is a dark baseball romance. And it has been spoken about quite highly in my breeder reader group. So you guys can only imagine what it has in here. It has an over-the-top possessive.
Are you the admin in that group?
No. I don't have time to admin a group. Are you kidding me? But anyhow, nope, I'm just an active participant in that group. Anyhow, this one, everybody has just been speaking so highly of just over the last month, and I have it on my Kindle. I just need to read it, but yeah. We're gonna dive into that.
Okay, my last book is Never Saw You Coming by S.L. Scott. This is an author that we will see at the Rain City event. So new to me author. So I want to, I'm trying to read authors that we're going to see at these different author signings. Okay. So Locke meets this girl who he says is really complicated, and from her clothes to her coffee order, and he does not have time, nor does he do complicated for more than one night. Okay. So her name is Tuesday. Somehow he ends up saving her from something, and then he saves her again when he gives her a place to live because she cannot remember anything. So somehow she gets amnesia from this accident. And as her life she's trying to figure out her past, she realizes she might not want to give up the life she's currently living. So kind of made me think a little bit about Help Me Remember, which is one of my favorite books. And I just always have been chasing that amnesia trope. So I'm putting a lot of faith in S.L. Scott. No.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That wraps up my TBR.
All right. So
I think I'm going to do it this time. I think I'm going to get 15.
Don't put all your eggs in my basket. That is for sure.
Well, you should have 4 or 5 because I think 4 or 5 of yours were arcs.
I always do 4 or 5.
Yeah, but they were arcs. So that's a given that you're going to do the arcs.
Yeah. And probably the audios for sure. So I'd like to say that I'm going to do it, but being a mood reader, it's really hard. Oh, so I don't want to put myself in that box. So anyhow, but there you have it. Those are the 15 or not 15. Those are the 30 books that between the two of us, we hope to get to in the month of April.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. And also in the comments, what is on your April TBR? We want to know. I know that there's more new releases that are coming out that I am like, ooh, I might check that out. But I really was trying hard to keep my TBR to books that I really felt like I was going to read. So I know there's lots of other good books coming out this month. So tell us in the comments below, what are you putting on your April TBR? And if you don't do a TBR, what's one book you're hoping to read in April?
That sounds good. Yeah, I want to know so I can stick it to my TBR.
Yes.
Yeah, my really long TBR. All right. I'm gonna have to start using our journal and put it in there so that I actually read it.
Yeah. Check this out down below.
Yes. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.